Welcome to Smash Metafiction, the podcast that's been with you since the very beginning. Why, you practically grew up together. Sure, other podcasts have come into your life, like that passionate 12-week tryst you had with cereal, but eventually, you always stopped listening for one reason or another, and whenever it ended, Smash Metafiction would always be there, waiting for you. But you couldn't feel that way about Smash Metafiction, could you? I'm your host, and my name is Claire. Joining me this week are Dan Mulcairn.
All right, just finished my smooches warm-up, so I'm good to go.
Kit Mulcairn.
I am not sorry in the slightest for what's about to happen.
I'm worried about that. Megan Bob.
I have replaced my eyes with actual hearts.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's the goriest thing you ever said, Bob.
No, they're still eyes, though.
What?
That's even worse!
And Liz Logan.
Miles, I really hope you listen to this.
It's time for everyone's favorite reality dating show, where lonely singles from all over the multiverse cross over for 3 rounds of epic speed dating. In the end, each contestant will secretly slip their digits to the person that they want to go on a second date with. If 2 contestants end up joined at the ship and pick each other, then we will have a new OTP. But if a contestant picks someone who doesn't pick them, then their ship is sunk. Will these sailors of the stormy seas of love finally meet a mate who floats their boat, or will they be forced to abandon ship? I'm your host, Yvonne Datgotaway, and if you're feeling nautical, then it's time for Ship Wrecked. Let's meet this week's 4 fabulous contestants. Contestant number 1, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I'm Jessie, the leader of Team Rocket. I change costumes, say rhymes, dig holes, and show those Poketwerps what's what.
That's fascinating. And what is it you're looking for in a partner?
Someone who doesn't mind travel and has a liberal attitude towards stalking, theft, and funding the lifestyle I deserve.
And what is it that you could offer to a potential partner?
My beauty and sparkling personality, obviously. And foolproof plans to catch that Pikachu.
Wow, well, after talking to you, can I just say, and I don't say this to everyone who comes through here, but you seem like a real catch. Why is it that you think you haven't been able to find the right one?
Every time things get heated with someone, whoever I'm with ends up blasting off. It may be flattering, but I'm looking for someone who can tolerate more than 1 round of blasting off before wanting to give up.
Next up, contestant number 2. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
My name is Galen of Ta, but you may call me Galactus.
Oh, my God.
I am a being from the universe which existed before yours, but the death throes of my universe and the birth pangs of yours gave me infinite cosmic might, but it also gave me a deep and unsatisfiable hunger that I can only momentarily satiate by devouring planets.
Okay, Larry, could we turn down his mic a little bit? It's a little hot. He's kind of a big guy. I'm sorry we didn't have any furniture built to your specifications, sir.
Galactus is used to standing and looking out at fields of stars. He has no need for your human chairs, nor could they support him if he attempted to sit upon them.
What is it you're looking for in a partner?
Well, I have had a number of partners throughout my journeys. Occasionally, when I arrive at a world in order to devour it, one member of the race there will speak up and say, "Spare my world, and I shall join you as a herald." And every now and then I will allow them this opportunity, grant them a portion of my infinite might, and they will travel with me for a time, and then inevitably they will betray me and leave me alone again. So I guess loyalty is pretty high up on my list right now.
And what is it that you'd be able to offer to a potential partner?
Oh, a great many things. I have existed for billions of years and have accumulated knowledge accordingly. My home is a ship the size of a solar system, filled with wonders from across the universe. My power is infinite. And also I understand that there are people out there who are really into tall dudes, so I guess there's that as well.
Wow, well, after talking to you, can I just say, and I don't say this to everyone who comes through here, but you seem like a real catch. Why is it that you think you haven't been able to find the right one?
Well, I do tend to meet a lot of people in my travels, but it's typically when I'm about to devour their planet, so it's not what most people would refer to as a meet cute.
Contestant number 3, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Heh, the name's Jack. Some people call me Smiling Jack. I'm about 400 years old and I used to be a pirate. And for some people, these are pluses. Hopefully someone here is one of them. I like to cause craziness. I hate stuck-up pompous pricks and I try to keep it real.
Those all sound like wonderful qualities. What is it that you're looking for in a partner?
Well, I'd like to be with someone who can preferably stay alive a decent amount of time to match my intensity and also has a neck with a rather large surface area.
And what is it you'd be able to offer a potential partner in return?
Well, I could definitely keep my partner safe. I've been owning the seas and streets since the 1600s and haven't died yet. I guess I'm pretty helpful. I've been known to offer really great self-defense classes, and I mean, if you get hurt, I happen to know some pretty crazy old blood medicine that will heal you right up.
Wow, well, after talking to you, can I just say, and I don't say this to everyone who comes through here, but you seem like a real catch. Why is it that you think you haven't been able to find the right one?
Well, probably haven't found the right one for lots of reasons, but mostly because I'm a vampire. Gotta say, last time I went out with a chick, I had to have a little snack, and when I satisfied that hunger, it wasn't Taco Bell. I couldn't figure out if she thought I was cheating on her, or was sucking someone's blood, but I guess both would bother your average human chick.
And finally, contestant number 4, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
2 women, only a foot tall each, identical in appearance, wearing clothing of a traditional Indonesian bent, are standing on their chair. They speak completely in unison.
Thank you for having us. We are the representatives of our great goddess who will be here shortly. Mosuraya, Mosura.
A gigantic moth with a wingspan almost as long as 3 football fields lands on the roof of the building. The twin fairies continue.
We will now speak for our goddess. She says she is most often called Mothra. Sometimes she is called Screaming Sounds, but mostly Mothra. She is the guardian of the planet.
I see. We should maybe in the future talk about putting a size limit on some of these contestants. Because this might have some logistical problems down the road, but alright, let's roll with it. So, what is it that you're looking for in a partner?
She says she is looking for a reliable partner that will not only support her in her challenging career, but aid her as well. Every few years, another strange beast or alien race comes along, or sometimes Godzilla's in just one of his moods. And so Mothra must put her own life on the line to save mankind. Allies are often necessary in battling creatures the size of mountains, but Godzilla is chaotic, and Rodan is like the belligerent drunk at a karaoke bar that wants to start a fight with you just because you picked the song he was going to sing next. Just a little maturity would be nice.
That doesn't sound like too much to ask. And what is it you'd be able to offer a potential partner in return?
Mothra says she lives on the beautiful infant island and that she is worshipped by the people there. Surely any mate of hers would be treated as a high priest. She realizes dating a celebrity can be intimidating, but she promises she is very down to earth when she isn't flying. She also adds she is very soft, enjoys cuddles, and will utterly destroy your enemies.
Wow. Well, after talking to you, can I just say, and I don't say this to everyone who comes through here, but you seem like a real catch. Why is it that you haven't been able to find the right one?
Oh, Mothra is sad. She believes her duty as guardian of the planet is a deal breaker to many. Though she doesn't leave her island home very often, when she does, it's often dangerous work that has killed her multiple times in the past. And though she is always reborn, she must go through her larval stage, and some people seem to be disgusted by that form. She does not understand why, because in that form she has been likened to the world's largest, comfiest beanbag chair.
Aww.
Alright, so we are breaking character for just a moment. For people who are not familiar with these 4 characters, let's run down the line and everybody talk about your character a little bit. So first up, Megan Bob, tell us about Jessie.
Jessie is from Pokemon, the series, and also, I believe, the games, and there's probably manga of it, from a lot of things. Is one of the main antagonists, is part of Team Rocket, works with James and Meowth, kind of a go-getter, very intense, wants a lot of things, but most particularly to be good at being part of Team Rocket and to catch that dang Pikachu, and also to get more money and food.
And Dan, why don't you tell us about Galactus?
Yeah, Galactus is a cosmic being from Marvel Comics.
Uh-huh.
He's a giant man who wears purple and blue armor. He travels through the universe and eats planets. I think it was all pretty self-explanatory in my in my intro.
All right, well, moving on. Liz, why don't you tell us about Smilin' Jack?
Smiling Jack is a Bruja vampire from Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. Yeah, and, he's had 400 years of wonderful life. And again, mine was pretty self-explanatory, too. He used to be a pirate. Now he's part of the Anarchs movement, which tries to overthrow the vampire bourgeoisie. He's supernaturally strong, supernaturally fast, and he's quite a crack-up.
Kid, after you picked Stitch that one time we played, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think there were any rules, but apparently we have to have rules moving forward. I'm like, all right, so you can't, be a weird little creature that might not be human intelligence, ? Is a child, is a dog, not sure. And I was like, okay, we fixed that one hole. We should be good. There shouldn't be anything else that a person comes up with that totally breaks the show. But we'll just see how this goes. So why don't you tell us about Mothra?
So, Mothra is one of the 3 most famous kaiju from the Godzillaverse. She is a giant moth, and unlike many, basically all the other kaiju, she is time and time again represented as the guardian of the planet. She's easily the most responsible kaiju. Probably the only one that cares even a little bit about humans, though she will not hesitate to raise a city if they, for example, kidnap her little priestesses. Yeah, she's great.
All right. Well, you'll see what happens. It's going to be...
If it was ever unclear to the listener that we privately decide which characters we are going to play without consulting each other first, and the first time we hear who everyone is going to play is right when we introduce ourselves in character, it should be very obvious now that is indeed the way we do things.
Back to the show. Commercial break over. For our first round of dating, you're going back in time to a different kind of nightclub. That's right, you're going to the greatest Renaissance fair that our limited TV budget can afford tickets to. A magical place called Looting in the Streets. Once you get into some period-appropriate clothing, there's no end to the semi-historically accurate fun you can have. You can watch blacksmiths forging real swords, you can shoot a real bow and arrow, you can eat a real funnel cake. You can also hit the bar, a little place called How to Drain Your Flagon. There, you could hang out with the bards and dance a lot, if you don't want things to get too Percival. I know what you're thinking right now. Gal, I had enough of your puns. Gawain, are you gonna stop making night puns? To which I say, okay.
No.
Oh, I'm so happy.
In order to see who's going to be paired with whom, I'm going to consult Shipwreck's own proprietary supercomputer system that we call the Erotic Randomization Operating System, or EROS. So, given the results from the previous interviews, let's see what sort of couples it makes for round 1. Just give it a sec as it runs its calculations. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Dee-dong, dee-dong. And the results are in. Our first couple will be Jesse and Mothra, and our second couple will be Smiling Jack and Galactus. Let's start off by checking in on Jesse and Mothra. Will these two finally get some fairy tale, or is this date going to get grim?
Mothra lands, say, in the largest clearing, so I think that's the jousting area, and those horses fucking flip out. I'm starting a trend where my characters consistently terrify horses, apparently. Mothra's got a little flower crown around one of her antenna, because that's the only place it'll fit.
All right, Jessie is wearing a white Renaissance gown that she has embroidered a big R on a cape that she's wearing. Still wearing those Team Rocket boots. Gotta represent.
So the little fairies look up from Mothra's bushy fur.
Mothra would like to know if you wouldn't mind carrying us.
Oh, you? Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was a little worried she was going to... Actually, I could carry Mothra. She pulls out a Pokeball. I don't know that you want to travel this way, but if it would be easier to see the Renaissance Fair, I suppose this might be a solution?
She does not understand. What is a Pokeball?
It is a small hotel, I think is probably the kindest way I can put it.
She will allow this?
Okay, this is maybe not the way that I wanted to start this date, but in order to get you into the ball, I might have to fight you.
The fairies pause for a second listening to Mothra, and then they look up and says,
You will not win. So perhaps we should proceed some other way.
In that case, I'll just carry you and we'll walk and frighten all of these horses. Can we go buy some sort of backpack to carry them in or something?
Is that a Renaissance backpack? Mothra wishes to be fully immersed.
Well, how do you like funnel cakes?
She has never had funnel cakes.
I think we can fix that. Please give me your most substantial funnel cake that you can fit in that fryer.
All right. That will be ye old $12.
Oh my gosh, is that a ho-oh? She just grabs the funnel cake, ducks behind the funnel cake stand. I'm sorry, I don't tend to have a lot of money on me, or ever, but I do have this funnel cake for you. This might be an insensitive question, but some of my friends are Pokemon. Are you a Pokemon of some kind? Maybe, are you a legendary?
Mothra says she's not sure what Pokemon are. Are Pokemon protectors of the planet?
Some of them are, and some of them are a chore that I bear. It really depends on the Pokemon.
Well, Mothra does not think of herself as a chore, but she does want this funnel cake now.
Is it time to check in on Smiling Jack and Galactus? Why, of course it is.
Oh,
What the fuck are you?
I am a cosmic entity.
Buddy, even if you were wearing a costume, you wouldn't blend in with shit.
I was told that the expected wardrobe for this place was that of approximately 500 to 1,000 years ago on Earth. And I assure you, I was wearing this exact same thing 1,000 years ago, so I feel quite secure in my costume choices.
I don't know how to respond to this, dude. You want to go get some food?
Yes, of course. Mine is a hunger that will never be fully satiated, but perhaps some of these giant turkey legs will provide me with but a brief respite.
I wasn't talking about turkey legs, but if that's what floats your boat, okay.
Do you too seek the life energy that exists within worlds, that calls out to you from amongst the stars?
No, I seek life energy from veins.
You drink blood?
Yes?
Interesting. I had not considered this route before. Perhaps I too should. You know what, that seems like it would be kind of disgusting. I think I'm probably just going to stick with eating planets, but we can still get a turkey leg. That's fine. That's also fine. 1 turkey leg, please. Preferably a large one.
All right, can we have a new policy where we need payment up front?
Grant to Galactus what he has requested, and you shall be granted all the wealth of 1,000 devoured worlds.
You don't want to fuck with this guy, give him the fucking leg.
Is that like Bitcoin? Because we don't take that.
Buddy, give him the fucking leg! Now!
Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. And he throws out a turkey leg to you guys.
Yes. The grease is, well, an overwhelming majority of what this food is composed of, actually. I suppose this will do for now. Do you have activities that you wish to do at this place, Smiling Jack?
Well, I kinda already lived through times similar to this, so this is like going back to my childhood, and I'm not really into that.
Do you have negative memories of such a time?
Yeah, overwhelming disease, people wantonly shooting people, and it just wasn't a great time.
It seems as though you are looking to break free of the lowly mundanity that surrounds you. Perhaps you would care to join me as a herald, be imbued with a fraction of my power cosmic, and help me to seek other worlds among the stars for me to devour.
You know, I'm not really into that whole power-hungry thing. It's not my style.
All right, then. I was kind of looking forward to seeing what your beard looked like covered in silver, but I suppose that will just have to be a dream unfulfilled. Perhaps we should go see what those horses are doing. They look very scared.
I'd hate to interrupt, but my producers are telling me that this scene is really dragon. So now it's time for the wrinkle. Our 2 pairs of contestants take their seats in the stadium for the big jousting tournament at the end of the day before the fair closes. They eagerly await for the knights to emerge, but the center of the arena remains empty. I'm receiving word that our 2 knights and their 2 squires called in sick today. This is totally gonna ruin this segment. If only we had 2 more pairs of people who could step up to the challenge. Oh wait, hey guys, I have a wild idea. What if you did it? The joust starts in just a few minutes, so decide between the two of you who will be the knight and who will be the squire, whose job it will be to carry the knight's equipment and advise them during the match. So basically, you're a caddy. Once you have chosen your roles, each pair has to pick out some equipment for your knight and a horse for them to ride before the match. And most importantly, you have to design a crest together and paint it on your knight's shield. Contestants, you are now faced with one question that all couples eventually have to face. Which of you is the knight and which of you is the squire? Let's start off by checking in on Mothra and Jessie. Will this pairing be joust right?
Jessie, you will be the squire.
Yes, I think that's probably the right call, but are you going to fit on a horse?
Mothra will carry the horse.
Mothra, I'm not an expert in animals. Certainly I should be, but I will admit that I am not. However, in my limited experience, most horses don't like being carried.
Mothra is silent. She is thinking. She has never considered small creatures' feelings. She feels regret. Very well. She would like to know what you advise.
Do you think that the horse would enjoy pretending to be a knight?
She would like to find out.
Let's make this horse's dreams come true.
Poor fucking horse!
All right, we have to design a crest that will really express how this horse is going to win this jousting match.
I would say the fairies get out painting tools, and oh boy, it's paintbrush almost as big as them, but they've got it. They're figuring it out.
What is the most dangerous animal you can think of?
Mothra says King Ghidorah, but she will not put him on the shield.
What if it was King Ghidorah but with horse heads?
She finds that incredibly amusing. King Ghidorah with prey animal heads?
Mothra starts flapping her wings as she laughs, and like a fucking 100 Renaissance fair goers are blown away.
Jessie's just clinging to the ground. Okay, what does this horse need to be outfitted for battle? Probably a helmet.
Lots of armor, probably. What would help a horse survive a great fall?
Oh! Oh no!
Now, let's check in on Galactus and Smiling Jack. The good thing about being in the joust rather than just watching it is that you no longer have to buy a ticket. But unfortunately, in order to rent the armor, you will still have to pay a surcharge.
Yeah!
Smiling Jack, do you wish to be my knight and ride out this day?
Yeah. What do I have to do?
We will have to outfit you with weaponry of some sort and choose for you a steed.
Oh, yes.
Do you have weaponry that you prefer?
Well, I have my own guns, meaning my arms, muscles.
So you are planning on jousting by, riding by, and then punching the enemy.
Yeah, I think, a straight and a jab. I think that'd work okay.
And I have acquired a steed for you. It is a surfboard. I hope that you will use it well, and that it will bring you great victory.
Who the fuck is this guy?
It is capable of many times the speed of light. I doubt you will need to take it quite that fast for this, but you never know. Oh, we need to design the crest, too.
I'm fine with it just being red.
You just want a red crest?
Yes.
Could we perhaps put a large G on that somewhere? There was a very early appearance of me where I had a G on my costume, and I was kind of over it, but now I'm kind of starting to get back into the idea, so I'd kind of just like to try that out. So, red with a G.
I'll have a hanky with a G on it for you, but I don't want it on my shield.
No, that's fine. I suppose it could get scratched or something. Just make sure you display the hanky prominently. I feel very strongly about this G the more I think about it.
I will wave it vigorously for you, my love.
Whoa! Oh, all right. Well, this is going much faster than I was anticipating, but good luck, my sweet prince.
I just made you say sweet prince. That was a joke, you sucker.
Galactus has been foiled again!
Now, it's time for the joust. They say all's fair in love and war, but will this fair end with love or war? So on one side, we have Mothra holding a horse.
Oh, the horse is
the
on
horse
her.
is on Mothra.
Okay, so there's a horse with armor and a shield that's a Ghidorah with horse heads sitting on Mothra's back. And on the other side, we have Smiling Jack on a surfboard, ready to punch the horse off of Mothra. Okay, how does
This
this go?
horse is ready for it, though. This horse is out for blood. We're the worst people.
How does this go, guys? What do you say?
Oh, God.
I think to be fair to, our souls, the horse has to win.
Jack is a vampire on a lightspeed surfboard. I think he's probably gonna hit that horse very hard.
They go rushing toward each other. Mothra and this fucking sky surfing vampire. The horse was, thankfully, Jesse thought ahead and outfitted the horse with a parachute, and this horse just jumps off and fucking automatically parachutes its way to fucking safety, so
Disqualification?
sure.
It looks like that the life of an innocent horse was more important to Team Mothra and Jesse than winning this match, and for that reason, they are disqualified. And the winner of this joust, which was actually just a weird game of chicken, Sir Smiling Jack and his squire, Galactus.
Yeah!
Mothra still had a fantastic time.
This victory will only satiate my need for so long. I must go seeking out other victories.
For our second round of dating, after a long day at the Renaissance Festival, the perfect cure for joust-related injuries is a little dose of vitamin C. That's right, this is a show called Ship Wrecked, so why not relax and watch the sunset on the shores of the beautiful Pacific Ocean? And you know what that means? Sun's out, puns out.
Yeah.
No, I don't have resting beach face. I just don't like to be tied down.
Stop it.
You'd think that given how many ocean puns we go through on a show called Shipwrecked, I'd have run out by now, but there's just no stopping my sardinic sense of humor. While you are here, you can go for a swim, toss around a frisbee, or work together to build a sandcastle. But be sure to put on sunscreen first, and don't be shy about asking your partner to help rub it in on those hard-to-reach places. In order to see what the pairs will be for this next round of dating, let's check in with my OTP, Eros, and see what couples it recommends. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Didong, didong. And the results are in. Our first couple will be Smiling Jack and Jesse, and our second couple will be Mothra and Galactus. Let's start off by checking in on Smiling Jack and Jesse. Remember, in order to kill it on a first date, you have to be sure of yourself. And don't be shellfish.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry I have to wear this trench coat. I'm allergic to the sun.
Well, we can always go looking for a sea cave. Actually, we should go looking for a sea cave. I think I heard about some Pokemon around there.
Yes, please.
Cut to a cave by the sea.
It's much better.
So, your idea for this date is going to be us sitting in this cave so you don't die in the sun.
I mean, if I died, is that something you're into?
That is not a question I've ever been asked, and I'm not, the answer to that is no.
Alright, so cave was the best choice. You can trust me on that.
Well, how do you feel about pets?
I don't think I've ever been asked that. What kind of pets?
Arbok? A little snake pops out.
Ah!
No, it's fine. He's well trained. Alright, you can just go sun yourself on that rock.
So,
Lick your tongue.
What are these things?
And then a Wobbuffet just pops out.
Where are all these things coming from?
They're coming from my Pokeballs, and they're at the beach, and they don't get to clean out that much. Jesse just holds up a Pokeball. This is where they came from.
Well, that's cruel.
I'm sorry, I believe I overheard that you drink the blood of people. I'm very interested in how your particular life philosophy works and wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
I mean, I don't kill them, or at least I do my best not to kill them. I haven't killed someone in probably about 300 years. At least someone who didn't deserve it.
Would you say that you sort of a protector type?
I would.
Oh.
Is that something that interests you?
If you handle yourself well in a fight, and you don't mind stalking children, I suppose.
How did I get myself into this?
Lick your tongue just licks you.
I don't even think I care anymore.
We know what you're thinking. Waterboat our second couple.
Yeah!
Let's check in on Mothra and Galactus.
Two very, very small women look up at Galactus.
Good afternoon. We are Mothra's representatives. We will be speaking for her.
You represent this large insect.
Yes.
Are you its heralds?
Yes.
Well, what is it that you would care to do on this vast expanse of sand and water, which apparently these humans enjoy spending time at for some reason, to take their minds off of their own mortality, I would assume?
Mothra says her homeland is, in fact, an island, so she is quite familiar with this type of environment. But you seem unfamiliar. Is there anything that interests you here?
Well, I do not know. I do not typically spend much time on worlds. I certainly do not come down to them for sightseeing purposes.
Mothra says that the humans, the creatures that are about your shape but much smaller, they seem to enjoy playing in the water.
What do they play in the water?
They enter the water and splash. She does not understand, but it is a thing they do. Perhaps you would enjoy it?
Perhaps we can both attempt it, seeing as neither of us have tried before. It could be a new experience for the both of us.
Mothra says she swims in larval form, but she's never really tried it as her imago form.
Very well then. Galactus will attempt to play in the water! Galactus takes a couple of steps into the water. The water is, probably like 4 feet deep, so it comes up an almost unnoticeable degree up his feet. And he just looks down, watching as the surf goes in and out around his feet, and says, "So this is what the humans do?"
Mothra's giant body also doesn't reach very far in, and she attempts to do splishy splashies with her weird giant chicken feet.
What is this sensation that is coming over me?
She splashes at Galactus.
Mothra says this is what the humans do. Splashing.
This sensation that I am feeling, it is not hunger. I believe that Galactus is having fun. Galactus is experiencing fun! And Galactus just runs out into the ocean with his arms outstretched.
Mothra is very happy for you.
I hate to interrupt, but something seems to be happening out on the horizon. There's a shape out there. Is it a storm or a tsunami? This could be bad news. Or perhaps it's just the wrinkle. Oh, phew. We don't have to worry. It's nothing as serious as that. It's just another kaiju attack. I wrote this before I knew who the characters would be.
Oh, boy.
You guys, don't worry. This happens all the time. These things crawl up from the bottom of the Pacific, and then the Jaegers show up and take care of them. Okay, I see something in my teleprompter that certainly can't be right. We approved that? How much did that cost? Well, find out how much that cost. This show does not have the budget for stuff like that. Larry, our budget for the last segment was 4 tickets to the goddamn Ren Fair. Anywho, my teleprompter is informing me that just in case this happened, our producers ordered a pair of brand new custom-built mecha known as Jaegers. For those of you who are unfamiliar with these Guardians of the Pacific Rim, these giant robots have a twist. They're built for 2. I see them coming over the horizon now, and Jesus Christ, how big is that thing? I know the producers said to build it to fit the contestants, but we didn't know at the time that these would be the contestants. Larry, that's a very large robot. How can we afford... You put it on the company card. Because I get back end on this show, Larry. Because you just spend my retirement on a robot so big that it's almost the size of a skyscraper, and another robot so big that the first robot could drive it. Anyway, contestants, there's 2 Jaegers custom built for you here. One for Jesse and Smiling Jack, and one for Galactus and Mothra. When the 2 of you plug into that Jaeger, your minds become linked. As you try to pilot it, you will get flashes of memories. Sometimes your own, sometimes each other's. Much like in a relationship, when piloting a Jaeger, it's important to not fixate on weird details from your partner's past, or else you could end up trapped inside a memory, unable to distinguish it from reality, a phenomenon called chasing the rabbit. Let's start off by checking in on Jesse and Smiling Jack. Will this pair be able to focus on fighting the monster, or will they be too busy chasing tail?
Well, first, remember how I asked if, seeing people die is something that does it for you?
Yes, I would find that difficult to forget.
Well, I got about 400 years of doing that to people, killing them, so sorry in advance.
Those are a lot of memories.
Yeah, and I'm assuming a lot of yours is catching animals and keeping them in balls, right?
Yes, although I would appreciate if you'd stop focusing on the hot springs memories.
All right, so let's see if we can get this thing out. See if we can do a little punch here, a little kick there. Hey, we're pretty good at this.
No, not a killing blow yet. Hold on. I want to catch it.
Are you saying you can get that thing in that little red ball?
I'm going to try.
This isn't a Pokemon. This is a Kaiju-mon. Do you have a Kaiju ball?
No, but I'm still going to try. I have to do this. This could be the difference for Team Rocket. Okay, just work with me to pull back the arm and... All right, we throw that Pokeball at that thing. It probably just bounces right off. All right, no, I've got another one. All right, no, punch it a little bit more.
All right, I'm weakening it.
Not too much.
I'm weakening it. All right.
It's chewing on the arm of your robot, and acid is leaking out of its mouth, and it's eating through all the armor.
It's doing an acid attack. All right.
That sounds like a weakened Nosferatu. Throw the ball.
Okay. All right, quick. No, do we have to get into the ocean and get that ball before it goes out to sea?
Now you see, suddenly there is just a kaiju-shaped area in the ocean where there is no water, and then all of the ocean rushes in to fill the void, and the Pokeball drops down into the surf, and there's just waves all over it.
He's gonna be stuck in that prison for the rest of his life.
No, I'm gonna train it.
There's still one more kaiju there, so I guess let's check in on Galactus and Mothra. This is a mistake. Everything I've done is a mistake.
Mothra, you must listen to me. In order for us to achieve maximum drift compatibility, I must make you into my herald. Will you accept this and become the new herald of Galactus?
Mothra is hesitant. What entails being your herald?
I shall grant her a fraction of my power cosmic, and she shall roam through space, searching for worlds for me to devour.
Wait. You devour worlds?
That is correct. It is the only way to sate my hunger, if only briefly.
Was your intent to devour this world?
My intent was to be on this game show, but I didn't have any plans afterwards, so... Shrug emoji?
Mothra is concerned. Her job, if you will, is to protect this planet. However, she says, if you leave this planet be and devour alien worlds, specifically of the planets where the aliens often come here and bring King Ghidorah and the like, then she would be pleased?
There are worlds of giant creatures that this Mothra knows of?
Yes. Simply because they come here.
Very well, Mothra. I give you my solemn promise that I shall leave Earth as long as you give me the location of these delicious, delicious worlds that you speak of.
She does not know the location.
So I'm just supposed to go looking for them blindly?
Well, she says you are certainly not eating this planet.
Oh, really? And she thinks that she will stop me, does she?
She knows that she will stop you.
The fairies put their hands on her hips.
We will see about this. And then I'm going to say we cut to the exterior of the Jaeger, and you see its right arm raises up and punches itself in the face.
I'm going to say, a fucking gale force wind blows out the other side of the map.
So there's a few more kaiju that are coming out of the ocean, and they look up at an enormous Jaeger that's 10 times larger than they are, and it's just punching itself, and then they just kind of slink away and go back into the water.
Yeah, and then Galactus and Mothra end up destroying the city in their resulting fight.
This beachside town is dunsies.
It's time for round 3. Well, it was supposed to be time for round 3. We had a whole other thing. It was going to be great, but we don't have any money anymore. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm going to make a quick phone call. Hey, Anna, it's Yvonne. Oh, yeah, you heard about the robot. I don't know. I was on vacation at the time when the budget was approved for that episode. You were supposed to be hosting the show, but I suppose you were too busy dating the contestants. So how's that going, by the way? Oh, really? Congratulations. Have you set a date yet? Oh, tomorrow night. Well, I guess my invitation was lost in the mail. Oh, why, thank you. I'd love to come. Oh, a +1? How about a +4? Plus a small production crew? For round 3, looks like we are crashing a wedding. To be specific, the wedding of Blasto, the first Hanar Spectre, and Shipwreck's own Anna Ganofigan.
Oh,
Going to a wedding together might seem like a lot of pressure for a first date, but it's nowhere near the amount of pressure that I'm under after learning that this show is now going to be in debt for the next several seasons. So, suck it up. Oh, time to shake the mouse and wake up Eros out of sleep mode. No, I don't want to install updates. Really? Remind me in 4 hours is the only other option? How about remind me never? Fine, remind me in 4 hours. Anyway, here we go. Eros, do your stuff. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop. De-doong, de-doong. And the results are in. Our first couple will be Mothra and Smiling Jack, and our second couple will be Jessie and Galactus. Before you show up at a wedding, it's important to look your best. Mothra and Smiling Jack, what sort of formal wear have you chosen?
Well, the little fairies are dressed in, like, little, evening gowns. Mothra's turning on her bioluminescence.
Jack is definitely wearing a sleeveless tux.
Oh, man.
Yes!
And has a large chain wallet sticking out of his back pocket.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
The height of class.
Trash. Oh, I love it.
All right, and Jessie and Galactus, how about you?
I really appreciate that you agreed to go with matching outfits.
Well, you did insist upon it quite stringently.
Yes, but you gave in, which is really the important part.
So, what did I agree to exactly?
Jessie is wearing a very nicely tailored white tux. You are probably wearing a dress.
I assume that this is traditional Earth garment for someone of my class and gender identity.
In my experience, yes, actually.
Well, I will not lie. I do appreciate what it does to Galactus's hips.
You do look very good in that.
Thank you. I'm glad someone said something. Glares across the place at Mothra.
Now let's move to the ceremony. Oh, looks like it's a lovely little venue, tall ceilings, plenty of light, fresh flowers everywhere. On one side of the church, it looks like it's mostly purple jellyfish aliens, and on the other side of the church, I see a lot of formal cowboy hats. They're about to start the vows, so I'll shut up so we can listen in on what they're saying.
Blasto takes Anna's hands in his two front tentacles, and he says, "In the name of the Enkindlers, this one, Blasto, first Hanar Spectre and savior of the galaxy, take you, Polyp, to be this one's partner in life, to have and to embrace from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for... We will never be poor, worry not, Polyp. In illness and health, to love and to cherish, until we are parted by death, when this one inevitably must sacrifice itself by manually detonating a bomb on an asteroid that is headed for your planet. Aerosmith will write a moving love song for the film adaptation. This is its solemn vow."
Doing this show, I wasn't sure love was for me. But then I met you, Blasto, and you got stung by that bee and I saw you puff up like a dead toad. But still using those pool noodle arms to do something nice for your date. And I thought, that's the kind of man I want. And you noticed me, Blasto. You saw past my TV persona and saw a woman standing there wanting to be loved. My sweet space cowboy, I love every single one of your lumps, every word you glow, and every damn one of your limbs. I promise to be the June to your Johnny Cash, the sugar to your sweet tea, and the ye to your haw. When I saw you for the first time, I didn't know your name or what the hell you were. But now, I know that your name is Blasto, and who you are is the love of my life.
Oh God.
What a lovely ceremony. Now it's time for the reception. There is a DJ overlooking a dance floor. The songs are alternating between line dancing and some weird alien electronica stuff that I'm not really sure how to dance to. There's also a buffet, an open bar, and if anyone's feeling particularly nostalgic and or attention-starved, you could always grab a mic and make a speech. No one would blame you. We're all feeling very emotional right now. Why, even the cake is in tears.
Oh,
Yes!
no.
That is the best one yet.
Let's see how things are going over at table number 1. Will Smiling Jack be the best man that Mothra ever met?
Can we talk about how fucked up it is that on a dating show they made a vampire go into a church? At least all the, rumors and fake shit that's not true, obviously, but I mean, a lot of people believe that, and yet here we are.
Mothra does not know what a vampire is. Could you elaborate?
I mean, this is really bad first conversation material, but fuck it. I, court humans, and I suck their blood. And that's how I survive.
Mothra is pleased you are immortal. Most of the people here that Mothra has met, she does not get the sense. Well, she was originally concerned that you were a human, but this is good.
I used to be a human, and then I got bitten by some lady who turned me into her vampire child. And now here we are, and I'm on a date with a huge moth. You're looking very pretty. I like your, lights. You look like a bug Christmas tree.
That's so beautiful.
Mothra says thank you.
And Mothra flutters her wings gently, but it's still enough to send like, oh god, oh no. It sends like every cowboy hat out of this fucking place.
So this might be a little forward, but, do you give rides?
She gave a ride to that horse that you nearly punched off her.
You know, a lot of vampires, or a lot of people think vampires have wings, but, I don't. And I've always wanted to fly, and you're a moth with huge wings, and we're on a date, and it could be like a magic carpet ride, but a magic moth ride. We can have some alone time up in the sky, your natural habitat. We'll light up the sky.
She is confused, but she says you may climb onto her thorax. You may want to hang on very tightly.
Yeah, all right.
Mothra flaps her massive wings, knocks out like the tower of the church, and then takes off into the air.
Now let's check in at table number 2. Are Galactus and Jessie going to find one another engaging?
I love a wedding. All that free food.
And yet my hunger remains unsated! Is this to be the theme of every single one of these segments? Just dangling the hope of finally having... You know what I'm talking about? A lot about myself. Perhaps I should turn my attention away. So, do you know the bride or the groom?
I don't know anybody here, but it's not going to stop me from taking advantage of this free bar.
I see. You do seem to be several drinks in. What is it that you are consuming right now?
Ooh, sake bomb?
I was under the impression that bombs were typically lethal to one of your kind.
Oh, this is pretty lethal, Galactus.
Galactus will be the judge of that.
Gets a very giant one from the bartender and brings it back to you. Here, try this.
All right. Well, that is an unusual sensation. It reminds Galactus of consuming a volcanic world. It is rather invigorating and interesting. Tell me, they seem to have some sort of sound system set up over there, where people were making speeches earlier but seem to have shied away from it. Has the libations that you've been consuming encouraged you to perhaps share your feelings via an announcement system?
You know, they might have. Do you want to join me for a speech?
I believe so, yes. The world must know what Galactus has to say. All right, listen up, mortals. Galactus and his tiny date are going to share with you their thoughts and feelings and words at this point. Galactus hopes that your first child will be a masculine child. And also biologically viable, because Galactus is extremely doubtful about that whole situation. But Galactus still wishes you well. It is very important in this universe that we find happiness wherever and with whomever we can, because one day you will look up in the sky and you will see Galactus' ship hanging overhead, and you will know that the end is nigh, and it would be nice to have some good memories to think back on at that point. And then he hands the mic over to Jessie.
You know, it's hard to follow that, but I'm going to try. I just want to say this was a lovely wedding. I appreciate your generosity in having all of this food, I have not taken any of to keep for later. Also the drinks, which I have also not kept for later. And I just want to say that I hope you have a very rich future. Also materially rich, because it really sucks wandering through the woods, hoping that eventually you'll find somewhere where you're not hungry and cold and tired all the time and dirty and just want to have a shower and wish that James would shut up and that Meowth would stop telling you how your plan was bad.
I'd hate to interrupt, but if that tux is a rental, you should be careful with it, because I think I see a wrinkle. Okay. Wrinkle at a wedding. What can they do? Something cheap. Something very cheap. I got nothing. I'm hitting that bar again. I need a drink. At least the bar is free. At least the bar is free. That's it! My glass may be half empty, but contestants, you are going to fix that by becoming bartenders. There's an extensive supply of everything a bartender would ever want back here, so you have to, design a cocktail as a present for your date. Tell us what your cocktail's called, and show us how it's made. And make an extra one for me, too. Mothra and Smiling Jack, will this challenge make your date realize just how intoxicating you can be, or will it make them want to kill ya?
Oh, man.
As my present for the lovely light-up bug, Mothra, I've taken water and mixed in extra fine sugar, brown sugar, cane sugar, and in case, she wants to be healthy or whatever, Splenda. And I've mixed it up and I've called it my sweetie pie.
Aww.
Mothra says what she recalls the most is that Smiling Jack is a vampire and that they feed on human blood. Now, Mothra didn't want to kill any humans for this, but during our very magical ride, Mothra did notice something called a blood bank. So she tore the roof off of that. We took a few packets and we mixed the blood with a little bit of everything from the bar. We don't know what mortals and mortal-adjacent things like, but hopefully you will be pleased. Mothra also sprinkled a little bit of her bioluminescent wing scales into the drink, just because Smiling Jack seemed to like that so much. Mothra is deciding to call it a mint kai julep.
Aww.
At the other end of this open bar is our second pair of free spirits, Jessie and Galactus. Let's see what they're brewing up. Oh wait, it's cocktails, not beer, so that joke doesn't work. Oh, I think my ability to pun is getting impaired. Good. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign. Galactus has been to many corners of his home universe, and has seen a great many things, and collected a great many types of alcohol. So I believe that Jessie would enjoy sampling a little bit of everything from Galactus's universe. Therefore, Galactus has mixed together a little bit of Shi'ar brandy, a touch of Kree vodka, and a generous amount of brewed whiskey. And then add in a splash of Cola Coca, which is the obvious Coca-Cola analog from the Ultimate Marvel universe, and that universe does not exist anymore, so this is exceptionally rare. And then add the rind from the remains of the destroyed Skrull homeworld, and you have an exceptional drink that is served in one half of a Pokeball, just to make it all the more appealing to Jessie. And I call it the Master Ball.
I noticed that Galactus is very hungry almost all the time. So I decided to do a Bloody Mary, but it's mostly bacon. And then as a kind of hunger dulling element, I decided to use Agua de Bolivia, which is from the coca leaf. I'm hoping that will have some hunger satiating effects as well. I am calling it the, oh God, no, he's going to destroy our planet. Which I think is probably the thing that I could call it that most honors the essence of who he is.
And now, it's time to drink. Drowning my sorrows with alcohol might not be the perfect solution to my problems, but it's worth a shot. See? I still got it. Mothra and Jack. Chug, 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 chug.
And Mothra is slurping up that drink with her weird old proboscis.
It's delicious. I think my stomach is glowing.
Your stomach does appear to be glowing.
Oh, shit.
Mothra is quite pleased with your sugary drink.
I am drinking your drink.
Oh yeah. This is good. I needed this. Alright, Jessie and Galactus. When life gives you lemons, make vodka. Wait, let me try that again. The best kind of alcohol is the kind you drink. Yep. Officially, I am too drink to pun. Our soup of the day is gin.
Galactus is lying on the floor in front of the bar, on his back, face up. What was in that libation?
Mostly bacon.
There was a tremendous quantity of meat. Galactus is sweating for the first time.
Is that a good sweat?
There is no sweat to compare it to. Galactus has never had to digest meat before. This is very unusual.
Well, I think the more pressing question is, do you feel full?
Galactus does not hunger. This is a truly unique sensation. Interesting. Galactus does not feel as though he can stand up reliably, but Galactus, for a time at least, does not hunger. This is good, Jesse. You have done well. How are you enjoying your drink?
I almost can't describe the taste. It tastes rare and unusual. I know. It tastes expensive.
Oh, it most certainly is. Many of those worlds from which those alcohols came from no longer exist, so in terms of rarity, they have absolutely skyrocketed.
Oh, I feel very spoiled.
I like to impress, and you have clearly impressed me. Jesse, you should become my herald. I will imbue you with a portion of my power cosmic, and you will travel with me through the stars, helping me to seek out worlds that might sate my hunger, presuming it returns once all of this bacon has left my system.
I'm willing to talk about it if you're willing to talk about saving some of the Pokemons we come across.
I have not come across any Pokemon on my journey, but then again, I haven't exactly been looking. I suppose it's possible that there are some out among the stars.
So you've been on journeys, but not a Pokemon journey. Oh, you've missed out. We should rectify that.
Yes, of course. Just give Galactus some time to perhaps feel as though his arteries are not going to explode at any given second. This will take a sizable portion of the power cosmic to rectify.
Oh, hey. Wild night, huh? It's a brand new day now. Welcome back to the studio. And I'm a little worried about this next part because I have a bit of a headache, and it always makes a lot of noise whenever we have to transform Eros into the love tester. Before each contestant makes their final decision, we are bringing them all together for one final measure of their compatibility. I'm going to ask each a question. First, each of their dates is going to guess how they will answer, and then the contestant will reveal how they really feel. Jesse, what was your favorite subject when you were in high school? Galactus, how do you think Jesse answered this question?
I suspect that Jessie had a few different subjects toward which she gravitated, one of which was biology. She certainly seems to be fond of animals. The other, of course, economics. I don't imagine she paid much attention in either class, but those were probably the ones that interested her the most.
And Smiling Jack, how do you think Jessie answered this question? What was her favorite subject when she was in high school?
She does like those little animals. I guess I would have to agree with the big man over there and say, yeah, probably biology or something. I don't know, maybe she wanted to go to vet school? Instead she just started capturing them and keeping them in balls? I don't know.
And Mothra, how do you think Jessie answered this question?
High school? Is this perhaps when the humans climb the palm trees to get the coconuts? Do they learn things up there? They catch the birds to eat them. Catching animals, that is a thing that Jessie likes to do. Her favorite subject, birds and coconuts.
And Jessie, what was your real answer? What was your favorite subject when you were in high school?
It was biology. I originally intended to be a Pokemon nurse. I went to school with a lot of chances.
Next up, Galactus. When you're feeling down, what can you always do to cheer yourself back up? Smiling Jack, how do you think Galactus answered this question?
I mean, are we really gonna seriously wonder about this? He goes off and eats a planet, and then licks his lips afterwards and says, delicious.
Mothra, how do you think Galactus answered this question? What does he do to cheer himself up when he is feeling down?
Mothra says, because Galactus is planet-devouring alien filth, it does not matter. He will be destroyed.
And Jessie, how do you think Galactus answered this question?
You know, originally I was going to say probably eats a planet, but he seemed very into being on the beach, so I think that might be his new thing.
And finally, Galactus, how did you answer this question? When you're feeling down, what can you always do to cheer yourself back up?
You know, for many eons, Galactus had to deal with his sadness by, well, not really dealing with it, to be quite honest. But recently, Galactus has met a person by the name of Squirrel Girl. And anytime Galactus is feeling down, he can go visit Squirrel Girl, listen to her tell him hilarious stories about how she defeated Dr. Doom or Thanos, and then she usually points him towards a planet that looks like an acorn. And he can And then Galactus feels quite a bit better.
Next up, Smiling Jack. What's something you've always wanted to do, but you've been too afraid to try? Mothra, how do you think Smiling Jack answered this question?
Mothra recalls how much he seemed to enjoy flying, so perhaps he can put on one of those squirrel suit things that humans seem to like to wear, and perhaps he can learn to fly on his own. Maybe learn to pilot? Mothra thinks that would be very good for his self-esteem.
Jesse, how do you think Smiling Jack answered this question? What's something he always wanted to do, but was too afraid to try?
I don't know what his answer would be, but I know it should be have a pet and love it.
And Galactus, how do you think Smiling Jack answered this question?
Judging by my experiences with him, I would say that the thing he has always thought about trying but never has is combing and grooming his beard. Ha! Behold the burns of the power cosmic!
And finally, Smiling Jack, what was your real answer? What's something you've always wanted to do, but you were too afraid to try?
I can't believe Galactus over here just said that. Anyways, the one thing I've always wanted but been too afraid is to actually have a real relationship. Just never worked out.
And finally, Mothra, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Jesse, how do you think Mothra answered that question?
I think it might be to understand what smaller creatures are feeling. I'm not sure if Mothra would do anything with that information, but she seemed intrigued by it.
Galactus, how do you think Mothra answered this question? If she could have any superpower, what would it be?
I imagine that Mothra would wish for the power to defeat Galactus, which is impossible. No power in the universe can stand up to Galactus, and when I appear in the air above her, she shall know the futility of her struggle at long last.
Smiling Jack, how do you think Mothra answered this question?
Well, I'm pretty sure Mothra thinks she doesn't need any more superpowers because she's already pretty overpowered.
And finally, Mothra, what was your real answer? If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Mothra, after a long think, says she would want the power to make everyone, every kaiju, every human on Earth, have deep, deep empathy for one another, so that they all can band together and destroy every world-threatening alien that comes by, so she can have a break once in a while.
All right, with that, the time has come for the final segment of this show, Gettin' Dem Digits. Pick the person that you'd most like to have a second date with and slip them your phone number. If two contestants pick each other, then they will earn the coveted title of OTP. If a contestant picks someone who doesn't pick them back, then sorry. There are other fish in the sea, and you'll get plenty of chances to meet them, because you're going home shipless. Contestants, take this moment to secretly write down your phone number and choose the person you want to slip it to. Smilin' Jack, who did you slip your phone number to?
Well, I feel like I've got a lot of anger in my soul, and I'm really looking for someone who'd take care of me. And the only person that's done that on this weird journey is Mothra.
Jesse, who did you pick?
I picked Galactus. I appreciate a man who knows what he wants and is willing to do what it takes to get it, and also has a lot of treasure.
Galactus, who did you pick to give your phone number to?
Well, I really felt as though I was putting myself on the line quite a bit during that whole segment, and really the only person who accepted my offer of becoming my herald was Jesse. So clearly there is only one choice to make.
Aww.
And finally, Mothra, which of these little mortals is worthy of your phone number? Because I imagine the other guy, who's roughly the same size as you, is not getting your phone number.
This was difficult for Mothra, though she was enchanted by Jessie's funnel cake kindness and her willingness to do strange things with a horse. But unfortunately, Jessie is perhaps too mortal. Smiling Jack had great immortality potential, but he reminds Mothra too much of Rodan on a good day, and Mothra says she's not making that mistake again. Galactus is most certainly not getting these digits, as you call them. He can meet Mothra outside, where he can catch these wings. So Mothra's decided she's not going with anyone. She's just gonna go back to her
on again, off again, boyfriend Godzilla. She says because at least he can push it.
Well, that's new, I guess. I would point out in the contract that Mothra signed, she did say that she was supposed to choose one of the other contestants by the end, but she has apparently left the studio and taken the roof with her. It's gonna be a while before that gets fixed.
And it's gonna be another goddamn 300 years for me.
But on the positive side of things, we do have a new OTP. Jesse, Galactus, how are you feeling right now?
I feel pretty good, actually. Although I probably should have asked how he feels about pets.
I've heard that many on your world are interested in shiny Pokemon. How would you feel about entirely silver Pokemon? Because I could probably set you up with some of that.
Ooh, get that legendary look? You know what I like, Galactus.
Yes, your Pokemon shall be feared throughout the universe. It'll be kind of cool. It's pretty neat to be feared throughout the universe. You'll see.
Time for the twin thanks. Just kidding. I'm not going to make Dan do that sound effect throughout the whole thanks. Over to Twitter. Thank you to Jake Mason, Sean Boyd, Jackson Bruheim, 3 Owls in a Rainbow Trench Coat, woo! Vander Turner, Mega Dumbcast, Jeff Frick Present, Just Jake Flagrantly Fake, Alexander, Changing Shades, Sid Rabbit Vlog, Cool Down Now, Bullies Oni, wow. That's rude. Icon Jade, Florian, Matthew Laserwitz, Wrestler X, Mr. Sneebs, Grant Woodward, Topa Hivemind, Cosplay Devotee, Earth Bofo, Sandwich Surplus, James Evans, and Not a Writer and Artisanal Typist. Over to Tumbles. Thank you to Sid Rabbit Vlog, Changing Shades, and Secretly a Skeleton. Shh. And on Facebook, thank you to Jeff Polier, Adam Mayo, Robert Ramsey, and Bill McKinney.
Oh, hey, Dad.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Shipwrecked. Next week will be the 42nd episode of our actual play RPG, Extraordinary League, and the week after that, War Greymon versus Mechagodzilla.
Smash Metafiction is produced by Dan Mulcairn, with logo design by Claire Mulcairn.
Special thanks to Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com for our theme song, Who Likes to Party.
You can find us on Twitter at SmashFic Podcast and search for the Smash Fiction Podcast on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice, and if you leave us a good review, we shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Smash Fiction is made possible thanks to our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/smashfictionpodcast. Please consider donating as little as $1 each month. It helps us keep the show going. And we have great rewards and extra content for those who help us out.
If you have any suggestions, feedback, or other contributions, send them to us at smashfictionpodcast@gmail.com and help us continue the fight.
Will this pairing be joust right? Are these wearing you down, Dan?
I am a rock by the sea right now. I just hope this ends before I am eroded away.
I just have to ask this question. This is really about my issues. If I offered to trade you something very valuable and I offered you a bottle cap in exchange for something that you thought was very valuable, you would say no, right?
What precisely are you offering?
Oh, I'm not offering anything. I'm saying if I offered you a bottle cap for all of your treasure, you would say no, right?
Galactus has no need for your mortal bottle caps. Galactus has no bottles to speak of that he would need to cap. What need has Galactus for bottle caps?
Oh, well that's really refreshing. The last people I worked with were very into bottle caps.
They must have been very thirsty individuals then.
Yes, he is thirsty.